Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Dose. I am your host, Kay Canna, and today we're going to talk about terpenes. So what are terpenes and why do they matter? Terpenes are naturally occurring compounds found in plants and insects all over the world. In plants and insects, terpenes produce scents that protect these organisms from predators. They're also found in a number of our foods and beverages, and they're even in our soaps and lotions. Terpenes are responsible for the flavor and aroma in these products and foods we consume every day, and research has shown us how these compounds can be harnessed for their medicinal and therapeutic benefits. One terpene, beta-caryophyllene, is regularly consumed by just about everyone, as it's the primary terpene found in peppercorn. It's also found in broccoli, cinnamon, basil, and rosemary. Research has shown that beta-caryophyllene is high in anti-inflammatory properties. Myrcene is another common terpene, primarily found in hops. Myrcene is what's responsible for the sedative effects you commonly feel with alcohol consumption, and it is also high in anti-inflammatory properties. If you take a look at the list of ingredients in your bath products, perfumes, and cleaning supplies, you're sure to find linalool. Linalool is the primary terpene in lavender. You get a great dose of the calming and soothing properties of linalool when you diffuse lavender into the air, use it in your food, or drink it as a tea. These are just 3 of the many terpenes we encounter every day. There are upwards of 20,000 terpenes found in our environment, and the cannabis plant has over 100 of them. So what do terpenes do in cannabis, and why is it important to know they exist? For decades, we have sold people on specific types of cannabis. We have what we call indica and sativa plants. Indica plants are shorter and stocky, while sativa plants are taller and thinner. We've taken these 2 terms and built a sales dialogue around them. Sativa varieties have more cerebral effects and can make you feel energized, uplifted, and motivated. We have names for these varieties like Jack Hare, Blue Dream, and Lamb's Bread, which is one of the few varieties Bob Marley regularly consumed. Indica varieties are felt more in the body, but still have cerebral effects as well. Indicas are typically more sedative and can help with pain and insomnia. We help consumers remember the difference with the playful phrase, "Indica puts you in the couch." Some indica varieties are OG Kush, Granddaddy Purple, and Northern Lights. While selling cannabis by classifying the products as either indica or sativa has worked as a sales model, some concerns have begun to surface as research and product testing have become more available. Most notably is the fact that you can buy a sativa product and experience the opposite of what it's marketed as. This energizing effect you're looking for before hitting the gym turns out to make you sleepy and unmotivated. The other problem that has surfaced is the unreliability of the names given to these various types of cannabis. In the image presented here, we have 3 representations of the terpenes present in 3 sour diesel plants, each with a different profile that produces different effects despite all 3 being grown from the same seed. The product you're buying might say Blue Dream, and yet when you consume it, you don't feel the effects you're used to. This is because the plant continues to be crossbred so much, and often in favor of higher THC content, that the original chemical structure of the plant begins to change. You can have a vastly different experience using cannabis that was grown indoors versus outdoors or in a greenhouse as well. So getting back to our original question, terpenes are incredibly important when it comes to the kind of experience you want to have with cannabis. Terpenes work in conjunction with cannabinoids like THC and CBD to dictate how each variety is going to affect you. In fact, they really are the key indicator above anything else present in the plant that will give you insight into how you're going to feel. When terpenes and cannabinoids work together, they give rise to what we call the entourage effect, where together these compounds produce the psychoactive feeling cannabis gives you. The effects don't feel entirely the same when you use products where these compounds have been separated. When we can't rely on the product name or the indica sativa classification anymore, we turn to the actual lab testing result for the product and can see the breakdown of terpenes as well as other cannabinoids present in that product. In this sample COA, or Certificate of Analysis, we can see that this Honolulu haze has high amounts of caryophyllene and myrcene, but it's being marketed as more of a sativa than an indica. Myrcene is the most common terpene in cannabis, and the more myrcene a product has, the more sedative it's going to be. Because this industry is so new, businesses don't have a playbook to follow and are making things up as they go. The language being used to sell cannabis is outdated, and some of the new language, like the emphasis on THC content being an indicator of quality product, are already in need of reform. Ultimately, regulatory bodies need to strengthen labeling requirements as well, so that the consumer has more information to go off of on the package. It's not enough to tell someone this product is going to work for them based on how it's marketed or based on personal experience. Cannabis is being sold on a purely subjective approach right now, and this is leading consumers into a world of frustrating trial and error. Using the testing results and speaking to the terpenes present in the plant is the way of the future, and the conversation needs to start now. Next time you visit a dispensary, ask about the COA and see if your consultant knows anything about terpenes. There's a reason why cannabis products that smell of pine and citrus work for you, and those that smell more skunky and earthy do not. If the store happens to offer a sniff jar, smell the product before you buy it, as your nose knows best, and will be the guide in determining what your body desires. This concludes episode 4 of the Daily Dose. I'm your host, Kay Canna. Stay tuned for episode 5, where we discuss the legal cannabis market around the globe. Be sure to subscribe for more. Thanks, guys!